Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome once again to my channel. Happy Sunday, happy weekend. Hope you are having a nice time everywhere. Welcome. I just want to show you a quick tip here how to use soulfish in another way. We always see the soulfish recipe, which is so many baking or frying, pan frying the soulfish, and then um, using butter sauce, which is a little bit of squeezing of lemon juice to the butter sauce, and then with parsley. But I want to show you a different method that you can also serve soulfish, because soulfish is one of those delicious delicacies, especially here in Europe. So if you're European, you know what soulfish is, especially here in our little country of Belgium. It is so delicious, and um, a big delicacies. People admire, people love it, and everyone really just find it as one of those delicious meals you can bring to any table with a lot of honor, and especially family tables. So let me just go into the direct demonstration for today. Today I'm using here like a baby sole. So this is a baby sole fish. I like it, or let me say I love it, particularly because it is very tender and juicy, and it has a really elegant and unique flavor. So that is why I prefer eating it myself. But you can also use bigger sole for this, but I am using here the really small sole. We call it the baby sole. So for this recipe also, I'm going to fillet the sole fish before using it in this recipe. So we start by filleting the fish, because I'm going to make a roll of this fish. So I'm just to fillet the fish, you just have to slice it from in the middle of the fish. So when you make an insertion like this, it's open, then you turn the fish. It's very easy to fillet a sole fish. So if you know the technique of filleting, you have to just go on top of the bones. So that is the method you are using. You are going on top of the bones, then you just slice your knife over the bone. So I'm going slowly so that you that is one fillet. It's very tiny, and but very delicious, you see, and a very, very beautiful texture in your mouth. So that is one fillet. So the next, you place your knife again on top of the bones. You just bring it so straight to yourself, or be careful not to slice or injure yourself. So it is just a technique, just going on top of the bones. So when you go on top of the bone like this, you'll be certainly taking only the fillets, and not leaving any of the fillet on top of the bones. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain here. So that is the second fillet. So this is a very small tiny fish, but it has a very beautiful delicate, fillet. So let's go on. So it's just putting, I'm using my knife like this, bringing it to the middle. That is making an intersection, let me call it. You see, an intersection like this. So then you can remove the fillet. I'll be back. That. Let me highlight it. Please, 1 minute. Let's see that it done. Ik vind het niet.
Ah ja, er is iemand gekomen, dat is goed.
Is the light?
Ja,
Okay.
dus.
So hello everyone, welcome once again to
Ada
my channel.
Infante, say hi.
Hi, Anna. Welcome once again and happy Sunday to you. Where are you watching me from? And thank you for joining us. I'm showing here how to cook soulfish in another way, in another manner. We are not baking the soulfish or cooking the soulfish in butter sauce as we often do, which is so many. Today I want to show how to prepare soulfish in another way. I'm using here a baby sole, which we call seven. This is almost a sole of 7 in a kilo. So you have this baby sole of about, I think, 150 grams per sole, or around maximum 180 grams or so. So you just run your knife on the sole fish. So when you run it like this, you see, you remove the fillet without hurting the fillet. You see, the fillet is well removed and clean, and they are very tiny and very delicious. So this is how your fillet should look like if you are running your knife correctly. So there should not be fish flesh hanging on your fillet. So your fillet should be so clean as this. So that is the aim of filleting in the correct manner. So but if you are not holding your knife, or you are not using the technique of your knife correctly, your fillet can be wrong, and that means you have too much fish that is left on top of the bones of your sole. So that is why the technique of filleting is also important. I wanted to show also this so that I can combine showing you new method of preparing soulfish, and also showing you how to fillet a small fish like this. So of course there are different methods of filleting. For instance, the best method of filleting a small fish like this is just running the knife in section, I call it, in the middle of the fish. So when you run the knife like this in the middle of the fish, what happens? You make an incision. So it makes it easy for you to fillet the fish. Because if you are filleting like this, it is not so easy, because this is a really small and tiny sole. So you cannot fillet it the way that you fillet maybe a fish of 4 kilo and a half, or 4.5, or 5 kilo, or like salmon, like codfish, like other big fish like tonen, and how do you call it? Yes, I don't know, Victoria bass, and so that are fish from 5 kilo, 6 kilo, 10 kilos. So there are other methods of filleting. So you can just go under the fish and you remove the fillet, one big fillet at a time. But a small fish like this, the easiest method is to make an incision just in the middle like this, and then you use your knife, you run on top of the bones. Though you see, you should have a clean, fillet like this. So you just, like me, I can just go once or twice, I will have my fillet. But I am just showing this slowly so that you can see how it is done if you never use a knife to fillet a fish. So that is how it's done. So you have here again another clean fillet. You see, another clean fillet. You see, that is so beautiful and it's so easy to make. So the second one, remember there is a middle bone here. So if you are just going like this, you can miss it. Then you can't place your knife on top of the bones, which make it again really difficult to fillet. So what the next technique is to find the bone and go over the bone. That is going over the other side of the bone. So instead of like this, you are sitting on top of the bone, you know, you are sitting on top of the bone here. So what you will do is going over the bone. So now you are taking your knife to the other side of the bone. So because if you here, you can't fillet, so it's difficult here. So you take your knife to the over side, that is over the bone, and then you go again. You see it's difficult here because the bone is blocking there. So you have to run it again once like this, you see, once like this, and then you have the second fillet. So if it's difficult, you can always turn it and you go through the other way. You see, you remove the bones again. So that is another. So I will not just now, here there's a little bit of skin. You can remove it using this little material here, kitchen tools here. So by you just hold it and you pull it and it's removed. That is just the skin, the white skin that is left from the sole. So I put it also aside, and I continue here. So you just run your knife through it and you move it again like that, and you have your sole fillet. So it's a technique. Once you know how it works, you can fillet any fish at all. You can fillet even the bigger fish, but you just have to know how this technique works first before you can start going to bigger fish. So you find the overside, or you find the crossover of the bone, and then you run your knife through it, and there you have your fillet out. So these really small fillets, you know, but they're so tiny and so delicious. Look, I have here the second. Remove and well clean. You don't have any flesh or any fish that is like on the fillet. So I'm going to continue. So we're using here small technique always, because we want to keep things easy, things very simple, that is not complicated, so that people can understand how it works. Because sometimes it's as if it is so complicated to prepare many things or to make many meals, but it's not so complicated if you know the principle. So I'm going now, running my knife over the bones, again the bone, and just removing the flesh. So you can also just pull it out and you have it. So later I'm going to remove all the bones, the little bones that are still attaching to the fish. And here so when you hold your knife properly, you will not have any problem. The fillet will come out clean and there will be nothing attaching to the bones, and you'll be, in no time you will become a specialist of filleting. So I have here the last. I'm going to fillet the last fast. You can fillet kilos of this, but I just want to show you with three, not to keep you too long watching. So sometimes I fillet here a lot of these, kilos of this, because I use it also in other recipes that we also sell here in the restaurant. So now what I'm going to do is to check cross check very well for every bones, to remove every bone, because you don't want to serve this to the guests and they are eating it and then they have a bone in their neck. So you have to, they sometimes, they don't always have bones, but they sometimes have small bones. You see it, they have small bones, and the bones are mostly on the top of the fish, that is in the beginning of the bones. So sometimes what I also do is I just slice that part away and the bones is gone. So it's just on top, mostly on top of the fish, here at the edge of the fish. That is where you find the bones, because the side bones are left here. You see the side bones, mostly when you pan fry the fish, you see the side bones here, but now the side bones are left behind on the bones, so the side bones are not here. So where the bones are now are mostly on top. So if you don't want all the hassle of using these tools to remove the bones one by one, you can just, you can just remove it by this. So here there is also another, so I'm just going to slice it away, just remove the slice away. We still check if there are, I remove the slice away and all the bones are gone. So you continue, and sometimes there's just one bone here at the top, so it depends, it's not always the same. So it depends, like here now I have one bones here, I remove this also. Now you see, I think there's still another one, I can feel it here. Yes, it's also gone. So we're preparing, yes, removing it. You just have to feel it, and here also you can just remove it using your knife, slice it, and it's gone. So you only have it at the top. So here, also have it here. Okay. So let me clean my table and we can continue, because I always love cleaning my table or my workspace.
Nadia, say hi.
Hi Nadia, hello, welcome once again. Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday, welcome. So I'm going to continue now by showing you this method of preparing soulfish. It's also really delicate but really fine and delicious. So now I have finished filleting the soulfish, so I'm going to add just a bit of seasoning, and I mean salt and pepper, nothing more. So I'm going to use my pepper grinder just to sprinkle or grate a little pepper over the soulfish. So add a bit of salt again just for seasoning, and here I'm going to go a little bit with olive oil. You can also use melted butter if you want, but I'm using here olive oil. So now I'm going to roll up the fish. You see the fish have two texture, from the inside fillet and from the outside of the fillet. So I'm going to, you see, if you roll it like this, you create another texture. You see, another texture of fish if you roll it like this. And if you roll it the other way, like this, you create another texture. You see, so it depends on what you want. You want to roll it this way or you want to roll it the other way. I don't find anything wrong about rolling it. Some people like it rolling it the other way around, and some people prefer rolling it the other way around. So it depends on what you want. So I will not be the judge here. I just allow you to make your own judgment. So if you roll it, I'm going to roll it per 2. So now I made the first rolling. So it's just rolling the fish, but there's also a technique in rolling the fish which is also important. You are rolling it from the thicker part of the fish, that is from the head to the tail, because when you are rolling it from the tail to the head, it's difficult here to roll up easily. So you roll it from the head to the tail. So I'm doing it again, and the rolling should always be like this: a flatter part at the bottom, you know, and the fillet part, I don't know how to explain it, at the top. So it helps the fish to stay as if it's in the ring, in a ring shape. So I'll continue to roll the fish again. So rolling the fish. So and I prefer to show the other part of the skin. I don't know why, but I just like it. So everybody, you can roll it whichever way that you want your sole fish to look like. So you can roll it. Even if it's work for you the other way around, you can also do it. So there is no right way, I mean, by doing this. So the only what we are here seeking for is that all the fish look like this. So because that is the aim of it, that the roll of the fish look like this. So if you got it this way, it is all right. So you roll it again and keep it. So it's a kind of rose. I don't know if it's really rose, but it look like a kind of. So the fish has been seasoned. It has been seasoned. So just, you don't need to season it too much, otherwise it can become it will not taste anymore, because it's a very delicate and very delicious but very delicate fish. So you don't need to season it too much. So you have to keep that in mind. So it's so easy as what you see here. Look at, it's so easy. So I made it just simple and beautiful. So let me show you the next stage, or the next what I'm going to do next, so that we can later show you the presentation of the fish. So make sure to stay tuned until the end so that you can see step by step how it's done. Now I'm going to clean my workspace again a bit so that it will look clean. And now I need not too much of anything here to stand on my way. So happy Sunday, all of you. Welcome. Tell me where you are watching us from and how are you, and I hope you're having a great time, because here in Europe most people are on holiday now, and people are enjoying their summer holiday here now. So we hope you are also enjoying your summer holiday with your family and your friends. And these are some of those simple and delicious meal you can present to any guest that visit you this summer holiday, and you can make that this roll in the comfort of your own home with a little or no effort. And you can also prepare this in advance like what you see now, and it takes just maximum 5 minutes to cook this sole. It takes 5 minutes, I mean, to cook this sole. So you will see how it's done. So I will keep it aside, and first of all I will show you the butter sauce that I want to use. I want to make a sauce to serve with this soup. So I'm making a little butter sauce, a twist. If you watch yesterday live episode, you will know, you will see, you saw that I made two sauce yesterday. I made mayonnaise, that is basic mayonnaise sauce that you can serve with any fish or fish meals. So I also made a warm sauce, which is muslin sauce, and I made a hollandaise sauce, that is the basis of muslin sauce. So you first make the hollandaise sauce, and then I added a spoon of creme fraiche to transform it into muslin sauce. That goes perfect with any fish meal, and especially like the roll sole that I just made, I just showed you now on the live video. So what I'm trying now to do is just to create a a kind of, a series, so that you can imagine what you can do when you have one product, like for instance this sole fish, and what you can combine it with. Because sometimes a lot of people have difficulties when they have a product, they don't know what else to do with that product. They think sometimes, if I have one fish, I can only bake it, I can only put it in the oven, I can only cook it, I can only pan fry it, I can only do this and that. So you can do so much using just one product. And also using just one basic sauce, you can also create a lot of other sauces from, like the yesterday. So I'm now going to show you how to create a butter sauce using muslin sauce and others. So because it's sometimes not always, there is a basic way of making butter sauce, and which is reducing shallot with white wine and vinegar, and reducing it until half, and adding a little bit of milk, and then adding cold butter to it, and whisking it till a butter sauce, which we call beurre. But I want to show you now another way of making beurre without you going through all that procedure of making a reduction of wine and vinegar and shallot. But even there are a lot, I also have at least here 2 or 3 ways of making beurre. So it's not only by reducing alcohol. You can also perfectly make a delicious beurre without using wine and just other products. So in other videos, I will try to elaborate step by step and show you different methods of even making just one basic sauce like beurre in different ways. So that is why you should always follow us, check out our videos, so that you can see all the series we are making about one just me, creating different versions of the meal. So today I'm going to show you how to make the beurre.
Ingrid say oi to you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi Ingrid. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday. Where are you watching us from? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us. I'll be demonstrating now how to make beurre. But I'm going to make the beurre from a reduction of a tarragon vinegar. This is just tarragon that is weak inside, or that is infused in a plain vinegar. Then I'm going to, because I already created or made a muslin sauce, so I'm just going to give a follow-up to show you how or what other way that you can make beurre not from the traditional reduction of the shallot in wine or whatever. So let me just go in directly. So I start my fire. So I'm going to add just a teaspoon, because don't forget there is also lemon in the there's lemon in the muslin sauce of yesterday. So there is lemon in the muslin sauce, so I don't want to add more sourness to it. I just want to keep it, make it a balanced sauce, so it's not something that is going to be sour. It's so easy and it's right to the point. Now I'm going to add then heavy cream, that is cooked cream. I'm adding, it's a cooked cream, is like 20% fat, that is 20% of fat in the cooked cream. So it's just to bring this together. So it's going to cook now. Then I'm going to a little bit of seasoning, because there's already seasoning in my in my muslin sauce. So I'm just going to bring this to a cook. So you want to warm it up so that when you start adding the muslin to it, it will not start skipping. Okay, now at this point you want to stop. You see, you have to stop. So now I'm going to place my pan. I'm going to start preparing the soup. So I have the sauce is warm. I'm going to bring an under layer for my sauce, so that when I'm mixing it, it will not move. So I'm bringing an extra layer, so when I'm mixing it, it will not move. My sauce will not move. So keep it here. So I'm going to, yes, I'm going to add a little bit of water to the pan. So you can make so much. It's a small recipe I am making here, but when you are making a bigger recipe, you can make it so much. You can make the quantity that you want. That is what I mean by that. You can make the quantity that you want. So I'm making here a small quantity. So I'm adding that to the water. So I'm adding that to the water and allow it now to steam. And I'm going to add a little bit of butter. I'm going to add a little bit of butter. So we're going to like sweat the the onion with the butter. It creates like a beautiful sauce. So allow it to cook further. So I'm going to rinse it. So I'm trying to a little bit of chive so that I can make it, add it to the sauce later. So now it has reduced, look, to a very small. So I'm going to lower my heat now. I'm now going to add my fish to the pan. It takes 5, maybe maximum 6 minutes to cook it beautiful. So you see, I lower my heat also. Now I'm going to put it high a bit again. And now I'm going to cover. So you see, everything is beautifully there. So now I'm going to add, that is muslin sauce, and whisk to the warm cream. Then it's emulsify and it's light. You see how it is? That is normally a muslin sauce. I have here a light sauce, and later I will add this. You see, it's steaming and it's cooking, it's sweating. I will add the rest of the sauce to here, and then you see it's a little bit. I will add just a little bit of water so that I can have still a little bit to add to my sauce. So I'll put it high a bit. So it takes about 4 minutes or 5 minutes or maximum 6 minutes. I can see it with my eyes that is ready. So I have here already the basic of the beurre blanc. So I'm going to add just the chive to it. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for the fish to be cooked. I'm waiting for the fish to be cooked. Then I will use the reduction of the fish, and I will add it to the sauce, and everything will be okay to serve. Then we are ready. Then I show you how to plate this beautiful, delicious and delicate fish, just with a simple technique that you can plate, you can use at home. You see, the fish is ready. You can see it already. You can see it's getting like a little bit harder. So you can see it takes at least 5 to 6 minutes. But I think we are halfway already. Like in 2 minutes time, the fish will be ready. Welcome,
Maria, say hi to you.
Hi, Maria. Welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Chef Viviane here. I'm showing today how to make a saltfish using another method, a roll-up method. And this method, instead of pan frying the soulfish with flour, which we call soul meunier, it is another way I'm using here, which is steaming the soulfish in a little bit of butter and in a little bit of with onions. And then I will then add the soulfish, the soul juice, to my sauce reduction, my emulsion here, which I will create a beurre. So I will serve the soulfish very soon, and I show you the technique of serving the soulfish. It's so easy. You can make these rolls in advance, a day or even a day and a half, and just put it in a steamer, put it in your oven for 5 minutes maximum. Your soulfish are ready, and then you can use it, you can serve it. Okay, you see it's ready now already. So it's so easy and it's so juicy. So I'm going to put off my stove, you see, and then allow it just, you see, to do its job. You see, it's just so delicious. So what I'm going to do now is to remove. Hello everyone, welcome. So I'm just going to remove the juice. You see the juice, I'm removing it. I'm adding here to my fish, to my sauce. So I'm adding it here. So it gives, it's so delicious when you add this. You see, when you add this to the sauce, you see the sauce is so beautiful. And so I add it to the sauce. So you see, that is the texture of the sauce you are looking for. So to serve, I'm going to serve my soup in a plate like this. So look at how it should be running. Look, that is how your sauce should be running. Look at that. Your sauce should be running like this. You see, you just created a beurre using just the basic sauce that you have in your kitchen. So you don't need to go and, you know, have any special sauce of or a reduction of whatever. So I'm just showing you that little technique that you can use to create a delicious meal. You see, in the comfort of your own home. So I'm going to show you how we can also make an elegant plate by just adding an edible flower that I have in my garden. So to add freshness to the beurre. This is a flower. I just went to pluck it from our little garden here, which add a little bit of freshness. You don't need so much. Then if you like, but I think it's just good enough. So I can still add one little flower here. It's edible flower and it's fresh. And here I'm just going to give it a touch with green oil. So you see, you don't need any difficulty sometimes to make a beautiful plate just like the one you see now here. I made, you know, soulfish. I just wanted to show you another elegant way of cooking soulfish, in the comfort of your home, not complicated, straight to the point, and beautiful and also delicious. So I use here a baby sole to create this recipe, and I showed you in the beginning of the video how to fillet this fish in the perfect way of removing the the fillet entirely without damaging the skin of the fillet, and then seasoning the fillet, and then rolling up the fillet. Then I try to show you how to create a beurre sauce using the basic from the muslin sauce I showed yesterday in the live episode. If you have not watched it, please go back and check out that video of yesterday. You can watch it step by step how I made the muslin sauce, and then you can use that muslin sauce as a basic to many more sauce like the one I show you here now, which is beurre. We can also use it to create other sauces in the future. So if you are interested in this kind of kitchen or this kind of cooking, make sure to stay tuned, like our video, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and also turn on the notification bell so that you can see more videos of this type. You can also see and follow us step by step what we do here in our kitchen, because we are going to create a series of a lot of videos that are connecting each other. That is like a basic sauce like the muslin, what you can do using just one sauce that you have. So I hope you guys like this episode. Happy Sunday, everyone. Here is my creation for today, which is soulfish, rolled soulfish, served with a simple beurre and a drupal of. Then in the sauce I added a little bit of chive to give it a touch of green in the yellow emoji, and then a sprinkle of a little bit of green oil that I made from parsley and lemon. I hope you love this episode, and the red and the flowers there are all edible flowers, just to give a touch of elegancy. You can bring this to your table every time, and I'm sure your guests will really be wow, and they will be so amazing, because it's not only beautiful, it is also really delicious. I cannot even wait to take this to my table to enjoy. I hope you guys all enjoy visually also my delicious plate this Sunday, and hope to see you in the next episode. I am Chef Viviane for our little city of Kuno in the province of West Flanders in our little country of Belgium. I'm here signing up for now, and see you later in our next episode. Ciao, love you guys. Chef Viviane signing off. Bye for now. See you.